Hey everyone, it's BDevine, of course, and welcome to Divine Miracles. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you are happy and well wherever you are. And I wanted to bring a message. I wasn't sure exactly, again, what it was going to be, but I'm actually going to bring a message on one of the angels of communication on Canon. So we will learn a little bit about this particular powerful angel, as we really do need to make sure that the things that we are communicating are really the things that we need as well. And as usual, as I start talking, all of a sudden the light is coming in really bright. So it's really nothing I can do about it. Hopefully it's not too distracting. So hopefully this finds you in a position where you are excited, because there is a lot that is taking place on an energetic level. And I've spoken with you all about the energies of this year, how there's going to be a lot of intensity surrounding the planets and how they are moving, and going into our first full moon coming up in a week or so. We get to really experience some fantastic energy in January, February, March as well. It just keeps on going this year. And hopefully you're going to enjoy everything that's happening, everything that's coming in. I'm going to see if I can find right now, just a moment. Okay. So, okay, maybe not. All right. Sacred Traveler. Okay. So we are just going to look at some little cards here, just real quickly. And I have been making, well, I do make other videos as well on readings. The trouble with it is that, I don't know, it's just come to a point in my life, or I've come to a point where I just want to be able to just talk to you guys, and not always be focused on cards or focused on, I don't know, I guess cards, right? I want to teach you guys how to do cards and learn all that. And of course, the Light Leaders Academy is going to be the place where you will learn everything you've ever wanted to learn on your spiritual path, right? So part of it will be coming up, not in this semester. The first semester is going to be teaching you how to deal with anything, okay? Because this is what's happened to me. Opening to your spiritual source, finding sanctuary. So this was the card that just flew out at us, okay? So what ended up happening to me was probably what's happened to a lot of you. You've kind of just got to this point where everything that's taken place on the planet, what we've been dealing with and focusing on. And as I said to you before, it's been like people are totally hypnotized by the whole thing. Okay, so they don't know why they're doing what they're doing. They don't know why they are reacting in the way that they are reacting, just that's what's happening to them, right? And that's a classic hypnosis thing. It's like you're pinpoint, you're zoning in on something, and that's your focus, no matter what it is. Okay, and unfortunately, this happened to a lot of people who became really, really frightened in 2019, 2020, 2021. And at the same time, going through their own challenges to focus on. I just said to my husband this afternoon, it seems like every single person, except for one person that I know in Australia, and I'm talking, I've been there my whole life, except for the time that I've lived here. Everybody's different. Everybody's gone, basically. Everybody's in their own energy vortex. Everybody's just doing what they can, but they are scared. I see post after post after post of numbers and things that they're posting. There's nothing to worry about, but they're posting all these numbers. They weren't doing that before, I'm seeing people crying out for help, right, and assistance. I'm seeing my friends, that, like I said, that people that I know are completely different now. This whole thing has affected them so much. choices that they've made has affected them, whatever's going on with them, right? You don't know, because it seems like when people have had a certain procedure done, or had to, or felt like they had to, they kind of feel, I don't know, they feel afraid of telling me or something, and I don't know why. I'm going to do my best to help you get it out of your body if that's what you want to do. Right? But they feel like, I don't know, it seems to go cold, like it seems to just go, oh wow, yeah, there's Becky, okay, like they forget or something, right? And even my son, Joshy, who's my musical son, Adrian's musical as well, so is Corey, but Joshy's the guitarist. You may remember him from, Domino Angel theme and, doing all that stuff. But, he would be messaging me every week. Like, I always hear from Joshy. It's always something. Let me put it that way. And he's just like, not. And I'm just like, okay, so if I write to him, it's totally fine. He'll write straight back. But it's not the same. I know it. It's just not the same. And I don't know whether it's brain fog or just they're just doing their thing or whatever, but it's not the same energy as it used to be. You may be noticing this as well. Right now we have to find, as I was talking about, communication. We have to find a connection that is extremely strong. Because as I've said to you guys, this is so important that we are truly and wholeheartedly focused on what we're trying to achieve in this lifetime. Okay? There's so much assistance for us, it's not even funny. Okay? There's so many angels for all of you. And the funny thing is that I always end up, my go-to is to connect with the angels. The most miracles, the most changes that have happened in my life, the most upgrades that I've ever had in my life, the beautiful attunements and activations that they've shown me how to give to you, the teachings that they've given me about life in general, the way in which they teach me how to heal and to work with healing and to teach you how to heal, and what the difference is and why some people say they're going to heal you and it's just not how it works. I truly would rather the angel heal you. I mean, you're going to get much more of a benefit out of that, but I am going to help hold that space for you. I can see what they're doing. I can see what's shifting, what needs to be shifted, because sometimes you people are, well, anybody is just in their own way. It's the same as with my own self. Super hard to see things for my own self, even when you're doing readings and stuff, because, it's for yourself. It's meant to be, it's really hard to stay objective when it's for yourself. Okay, because there's certain things that you want to have happen. There's certain things, that you would like to see, and then you shuffle, second guess yourself, shuffle, right? So that's why I dedicated everything to all of you. Okay, I am just rubbing my oils in my face. So that's why I dedicated everything that I do to all of you. Okay, but as I said to you all before, and this is why I'm being so passionate about this, and this is why you're seeing me come forward in this energy. I simply don't care about what it looks like, what it might seem like, whether someone's upset, because the mission that I have is bigger than what anyone thinks about the mission that I have. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm saying I'm special, or I've never been that way with you all. I'm me. It's just me. But it's me with an eagle eye on what we've got to do to get past all this BS. Okay? And it's certainly not sitting there in amongst it saying, what do we do? How's it going to happen? What does the future hold for me? Oh God, it's going to be so difficult, but here we are. We must be here for a reason. It's more than all that. This whole what's going to happen and poor me, and oh God, I'm so, I'm worse off than everybody else, and I'm going through this and people don't understand you're all in your head, like if that's what's going on with you. And we are instructed as divine beings of light to get our act together and be a leader. And that means that people will follow someone who they will get it together. They will follow someone who they feel can get them through, right? I have a feeling that there's not many other people that are talking in this way. I have a feeling that even though I didn't want this, that, you know, I'm trying to show you the way forward. I'm trying to wake up something inside of each one of you, like once again. Okay. I started this journey in 2009 and I came on to YouTube in 2010. And, you know, I just used to make these quick little videos. I had terrible equipment, which made me look really great. But I had terrible equipment. I just, you know, I had holes in the floor. I had a sheet behind me, if you remember, all of that stuff. I actually, you guys didn't know, but I actually had an alcoholic husband at the time. You know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like a beating alcoholic or anything. It was just what it was, right? But I was trying to get through everything. And myself, I was still dealing with a lot of things personally when I started coming online, but I did it anyway, right? There's no perfect time, in other words, to come out and to be who you are and do what you're doing and stand up for it. Okay. So where I am at the moment is this need, this desire, this want to teach everything that I know to everybody that I can get my hands on, right? You would think it would be easy if you know that you're saying, hey, look, do you want to learn everything? Okay, here it is. This is what it's going to be. Okay, this is what you're going to have to do for it. But you're going to get me working with you through it personally for like 10 to 12 weeks. It's probably going to be more like 12 weeks, okay, for semester one, because to fit everything that I want to teach you in semester one so that you can, it's like I'm trying to set you up so you don't need me, only if you want to specialize in something. And so to get all that done, it's, you know, obviously going to be a lot for me, but I need you guys to understand that if you've ever wanted to do some kind of spiritual work, if you didn't want to do readings, if you don't really care about doing healing, but if you want to be there for somebody, there's a way to do it. Okay. There's a way to just be an ear, an active listener, but there's a way to interpret everything that's really going on with a person and help them through. Okay. And we have to do it differently. We can't be doing it how it's always been done. And this is the second important point, doing these things differently. So you personally, say you're never going to go in the light leadership program, you're never going to do any of that kind of work. But let's say that you're doing something now in your own job where you help people. You might just work for a normal company, but you're helping people, okay? And you're doing your thing. Even in that instance, whatever it is that you've been doing to help in your community or at work or whatever, it still has to change. There has to be a different kind of feeling about it now as we move forward. Because as I was explaining before, it's not just people that are coming forward that are going to say, hey, I need help. Where the hell can I go? Who's going to understand what I've been through? It's not just that. Okay. It is about people who are suddenly triggered without knowing why they've been triggered. People who are suddenly going through abusive cycles, or finding themselves in a health crisis, or finding themselves suddenly in a psychological crisis, or a health crisis of some kind. Now, they weren't in anything before, they were doing quite fine. But in this last 2 years, with all the programming, with all the hate that's been coming, with all the division that's been happening, with people being separated from family, children, whoever, no travel, whatever it is, right? For nothing really, okay? What's happened is that people are at the end of their rope right now, okay? I notice it in some of the videos that I make. you know, some of the comments and things. I can see where, you know, it's like where the person is at, you know, and the person is at a level that you should be past by now, okay? With all of the work, with all of the videos, with all of the healing, with all of the talks, with all of the webinars, with all just everything that you find from myself and from others that are trying to bring in a new vibration, albeit a lot are trying to just bring in this, okay, the aliens are coming to save us all. Don't worry, they're coming. Well, they've already been here. I don't know how long now. They've already been here working with us, right? So they can't come and save us if we're not working together either, as in all collectively thinking about the changes that we want to make on the planet, within ourselves, everywhere. The way that things are, we will not survive, okay? And when you're a high vibrational being, you're not going to survive in a low vibration for very long and keep your high vibration. You know, there are people like me who constantly give positive and reassuring messages, love, light, strength, hope, healing, free stuff, everything that they can do. And those people are becoming extremely exhausted and leaving. Okay, so I saw that there was a couple that a lot of people listen to. I'm not going to say who they are, but let's just say, you know, there's hundreds and thousands of dollars that get given to these people just as donations in the super chat. Okay, so they just get, you know, it just keeps on coming. The two people, and what happens is that because of this vibrational change, okay, because we're in this huge change this year, especially because of everything that's occurred, all right, and all the people that are going without now and all this sort of stuff, people are seeing right through certain people as well. And, you know, with this particular couple, they've just pulled right away from everything, like just left everybody hanging, you know? And they have their own reasons or whatever they're doing. I don't know. I don't really fall into it or follow it or anything else, but it's just that they're gone. Okay, there's certain people that are gone. There's certain people that went before all of this began to occur, right? So we saw people change their viewpoints. My viewpoint has always been the same, that you are divine, that you're a sovereign being of light, that you have multiple guardian angels with you, you have multiple spirit guides with you. You're all connected into whoever you want to be connected to. So there are some people that say you've got one guide, one angel, that's it. Okay. There are some people that will tell you that they are the only ones that can connect in with, I don't know, the Pleiadians or something, which is a load of crap. Right. And so there's just so many things that are going on, and it's just so hard to understand. So I've just come to the conclusion that none of that matters. People are going to fall away. People are going to show their true colors. Okay. People are going to show their true colors with who they are in their spiritual journey as well, leaving you, just abandoning everybody, running away, taking the money and run sort of thing, right? Not standing up when there's all of this craziness happening and being who you are. You know, I've been here with you the whole time, over and over and over again. You know, I always will be. That's just how it is. But as I move more into teaching, I'm trying to show you how to do anything you can think of with regards to spirituality, regards to mental health, with regards to, you know, working with people who are damaged, because that's the whole reason they come in the first place. So if you weren't damaged, you wouldn't need anybody. You know, I came to spirituality because I was damaged. You know, I was looking for something that would help me figure a way out of my own head, something that would help me be happy, something that would help me find peace within myself, right? Instead of always being anxious and worried and scared, you know, because that's all I ever knew. I had so much fun, don't get me wrong. There was fun times. I met lifelong friends. You know, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about the reason that I came into spiritual practices more deeply. So there's just doing readings, whatever. I've started doing that when I was 15. But healing and spiritual therapy and mediumship and channeling and doing it without looking like a weirdo, and making kinds of noises and stuff. I don't know, that to me just feels weird. But to each his own, if you make noises when you channel, then okay, you know. But discovering, being on this journey of discovery of different things and different ways of doing it, putting it all to the test. Again, just having books to go by, putting it all to the test, doing my meditations. Eventually 16 years ago, when I was 30, cutting out meat, cutting out dairy, because I had a ton of problems. And then all of the health problems went away. And that's just for me. I don't really care what anybody eats, right? It's always up to you what you choose to do. And I've never sat here going on a big, massive tangent about it either, right? If you want to know more about all of that sort of stuff, then we can certainly, my husband would be right here with me, talking about how those changes happened, life changes, the way that you eat and see things. I mean, for me, I didn't even care about gluten or anything. I'd take gluten out, and making sure everything is organic as well, and no takeaway food whatsoever. So I make everything fresh, and what a difference to the joints that made. And I didn't realize my joints were bad until they weren't bad anymore. A lot of stuff I'm very numb to, I don't feel things in my body like other people do, because it's always got so much healing flowing through it. It's hard to explain that to people, like even when I had this big fall and everything, it was, bad. And yeah, I spent like 2 days, like hardly able to really move very well. But I quickly just was not claiming it, just not going to claim that in my body at all. And as soon as I said that to myself, that was it. All started to just fix itself, right? All just started to change. So it brings me to my point of communication. Okay. And this is why we're going to talk about this particular angel on Canon, which you might not have heard about. You might have heard about it in one of my videos a long time ago. And tomorrow we will be here, my husband and I will be doing our auction, our first one for the year. See what you guys think, so we can keep going with the crystals as well. Yeah, so it's very important, as I said to you all, it's very important right now that we are very clear about our journey, pathway, where we're going, what we're doing, what we will deal with, what we will put up with, who we will put up with, where we draw the line with anything in our life. The drama, the BS, the moaning and the complaining, it can... If you're working on therapy with someone, it's a different story, because obviously they're there to tell you what's going on, okay? But if you're constantly in it all the time, you're going to find it very hard to maintain, the things that you've worked on yourself, right? You've worked on these things. You've worked on your life. You've worked on changes to your body. You've worked on changes to your food. You've worked on changes to your spiritual connection. You've worked on getting ahead by manifesting. You've worked on stopping yourself from worrying. You've worked on releasing stress. You've worked on staying in nature. You've worked on doing these meditations and things, right? You've worked on opening up to your guardian angels and your guides and whatever other masters you want to connect with, right? So you've worked on all of these things. You're strong, okay? And you're focused, and you don't want anyone to get in your way. You just want to just really try to fine tune this thing. And it's one thing after another on social media or messages or emails or whatever it is, right? At you and at you and at you and at you and at you. And it doesn't mean that people are yelling at you And like, even when I'm talking about this, let's say I'm talking about myself, if someone was at me and at me and at me and it just kept on coming, it would all just be deleted, because that is abuse, right? So it really doesn't really happen to me like that. But let me tell you, when you have, it doesn't even matter if it's positive sometimes. When you have a lot of people that want what you have, okay, who want to learn or who want to change or who are going through something or who are in need of something or want healing or want right, and you're learning how to be a teacher, a guide, a practitioner, or just to be on a spiritual journey. And hey, you might have given some advice that worked somewhere, and now suddenly you're the guru, right? It is very tiring when you have to continually repeat a process. Okay. And those who are coming to learn, I'm going to show you how to get out of everything, like to how to deal with everything. But you're going to have to understand that in this process, as much as you just want to knock it all out and you just want to move ahead, right now in this energy, people are freaking out. Okay. So they are going to be at you energetically if they're not at you personally. They're going to be calling on you and needing you. And you're going to have to be 100% ready for that anyway. So no matter what happens, no matter what occurs, no matter who comes at you, no matter what starts to occur, or someone starts to become really needy, or whatever it is, that you have a plan of action to get out of it, whether you're a student of mine or not. Because I am telling you now, everybody, please listen to me when I tell you that as we go through this year and the next, and in fact, over the next 5 to 6 years, okay, the amount of change that we will see is going to be mind blowing. And if you are not grounded in your energy and focused, you will get overwhelmed. Okay. If you are not really strong about who you are, and this is what they're showing me to be, I've got no choice but to be this way anyway. When the chips are down, I get even tougher. Okay. Here comes an ad. Right. So when it gets really hard for me, that's when I'm at my best. So when people become, it becomes really busy and it just becomes, left, right, and center, to me, that's when I'm at my best. Okay. When nothing's happening, I'm like, well, there's got to be something I can do. I'm looking for the next thing to do. Right. So that's a lucky thing for me. But you'll start to figure out if you're too much of an empath and you haven't learned to control your empathy and use it as a tool instead of something that's always a weapon, or something that's always against you, or something that makes your life harder, if you don't use it as a tool and shield yourself properly, when all this starts happening and all this craziness starts to occur and everything gets found out, situations that have long held their power, when it all comes crashing down, when certain people who you might have actually really had, okay, I think I like this person, and then you find them that they're gone in the crisis, like these two that I was telling you about. Everybody was hanging off every word they were saying, and they're gone now. There's more like that as well, where everyone that's going, you're seeing people coming forward, and speaking and saying, look, they can't say anything to me because I was there. There's people that were there. There's people that were working on things. There's doctors and all kinds of stuff that is happening. And that's just on that level, with all the C19 crap, right? With all that's been happening. Oh, okay. It's like a flock of geese just went across. I saw a big shadow. I'm like, oh, is it a hawk? Yeah, so what we're finding is that even with people who we might have been listening to for years, they're gone. Okay, we all know that what happened with Doreen Virtue, and they were all right there all the time, oracles, this, that, the other thing. And suddenly she just went into fear. And that's what happened to her. Something really scared her. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if she was threatened in some way, but it's none of our business, right? But she's gone, and it's all cuckoo now. Because anyone that constantly is attack when you haven't even done anything, they're the ones with the problem, not you. Okay. Used to really upset me when people would say, "Oh, that's the devil's work, what you're doing." I'd get so upset, that someone would think that way. And then I just thought to myself, you know what? Only the devil would actually think that way. Only someone who's really dark would try to destroy light, you know? And I turned it all around like that. It doesn't bother me anymore. It's just like, if you're wasting your time coming here, if you really have to go out of your way to write to me and tell me where I'm wrong, you're the problem, you know? And that's the other thing, everybody, is that, as you're working on your spiritual path, people don't understand it. You're not going to get support from those who you might have thought. As I said to you, I've known people for, a really long time in my life, and there's not one of them that is here in this, looking at any of this stuff that I do. The only person would be my friend Julie, and I've told some of you about her already. And she doesn't always watch all of my things either, but she's on the same wavelength. We've always, her and I, been the weird ones, apparently, when we were just having such a joyful time, right? And you'll find that as well, that when the happier you are, the more miserable certain people who have been in your circle before really become. And you're like, why does that happen? Right? And it's because you don't need them anymore. It's like you don't need the drama anymore, I should say, right? You don't want to have to fix everything all the time. You've got other things that you're doing, and this is what happens to you guys. I can see it. I see it happen to a lot of people. People give up on doing this work. They're sick of it. They get sick of it because you wouldn't believe, that you would give such wonderful, solutions to people, and they won't take the solution because it seems to be easy. I don't know why people want to make everything so hard on themselves, but I know that I was the same way. I would say to the angels, it can't be that easy. Oh my God, is it really that easy? It's like everything's simple in spirituality, And of course, there are things that, as you get really deep into your journey, for example, and it doesn't even matter what your journey is. If you're here listening to this, then your journey is on spirituality. Okay, your journey is to open up. Your journey is to help people in whatever way that is. And it doesn't matter what that journey part looks like to you. You may do it with art. You may work with animals. You may even work in an office, but change that vibration in the office all the time. My friend Frankie in Sydney, he always used to say, wow, this energy in here is horrendous, he'd say. It's so ugly. And I'd be like, stop focusing on that. Just send the beams of light out, Oh, yes. but, he was funny. But, you can change everything about your whole life by the way that you think about it. Everything about your life, right? People heal their bodies, everything, and continue on. Now, I mentioned in one of my videos about exit points, and working with you on what happens when we transition, and what sort of exit points might come up in your life. If there's been something that's happened to you, or a near-death experience as well, something that has occurred. Because usually what ends up taking place is, not all the time, but sometimes what happens is that there is some kind of experience that is so dark that you might have in your life, near death, a suicide attempt, a car, accident, a deathly infection, something that occurs to you. Oh, I've got to tell you something as well. Hang on a minute. But something that occurs in your life that is like, it's like the end of the world to you. And you feel completely alone, and you feel completely out of it, right? You feel like your angels have left, your guides have left, Everybody is just leaving you to your own devices, right? It's like, where is everybody? It's like that shamanic spiritual death. And if you've had that in your life where you've been at total rock bottom, nobody's there, nothing for you, it just feels like you're completely empty, then it's like that's your point in your life, a point in your life where you've been chosen to work as a helper, a healer, a guide, a spiritual person. It's like an initiation thing. And a lot of that happened with the shamanic work that I was doing. And this brings me to my point. I don't know if you remember, when was it? 2018. I had, I'll see if I can show you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you. Okay, so see my tattoo? Okay, it goes all the way up my arm. Okay, it's going to be hard to show you because I've got the zoom on. Okay, now it doesn't look too bad here, but the other side of it, which I can't show you, is all faded and it's full of scars and all kinds of stuff. What happened is that I went in 2018 to go back to Australia I was in the United States, obviously my then, well, it's my husband now, but we were just connecting with each other then. We were together. I came back to Australia because I had to get, excuse me, I was only allowed to stay in the United States for 3 months until I sorted out my American passport, and we couldn't do it while I was there at that point. I had to go back to Australia, and I stayed in Sydney for a while, and then I was going to go back to Adelaide, see the kids and everything, get myself together, get all the paperwork and stuff I needed, whatever it is, and come back to the United States, right? As quickly as I could. When I was in Sydney, I had this brave idea. I had a horrendous tattoo just here on my wrist and just a little bit further down. And I'm like, I just want to go and get that covered over, right? I just want to get it covered up. So I went to, really reputable place. There was nothing wrong with the place, right? And I went in and I said to the guy, look, I had an infection one time before when I had these horrendous tattoos done. But it was probably because it was done at home sort of situation, but I did have a horrendous reaction. And it was to the purple color, right? So if you if you take a look, there's heaps of purple in this. I wish I could show you, but there's heaps of purple. These are peonies, right? It goes right around. Okay, there we go a bit. It goes right around to the other side. And so I said to him, I'm just a little bit because of that, but all I want is this covered over. I just want something that will cover over because I had very, very dark lines that were drawn. So it took him a while, but he came up with the peonies. He goes, this is the thing, because I have to be able to cover up, the darker lines and stuff. So it was this. And so he stretched it out on my arm, and I'm like, holy crap, it's going to take up my whole arm. But it sort of looked like a painting, like a picture, right? It looked really lovely when it was on there. And I'm like, oh, I don't know, but I did it anyway. Now it was 6.5 hours. Okay. And he just kept going and going and going. And I thought when I was finished, thank God, like I'm finished. I thought I didn't want to have to come back again. I just wanted to get it done. So there were 6.5 hours. I went and got something to eat. And after I was finished, I was all, bandaged up how they do. And I went and had something to eat. And then obviously I was on the phone with my husband, and I'm like, oh my God, it's swelling a fair bit. It feels all watery, And I said, look, I just have a headache. I'm just going to lie down. I said, it's just wiped me out, right? That's what I was thinking. And I woke up in the morning and it was like so painful. I'm like, oh my God, it shouldn't be this painful. I've had tattoos before. I've got a big one on my chest. I'm like, this shouldn't be this painful and swollen, like it was watery. And all I could think to do was just to get in the shower, just sort of try the warm water, how you can feel more connected with the warm water, etc., and just feel relaxed. Washed it all, did all the antibacterial stuff to it, covered it all back up, all that sort of stuff, because he told me what I could do. Oh no, it was so bad. I was like cry talking. Like I was cry talking. It was so painful, and I just was like, this is ridiculous. So my husband finally talked me into going to the hospital, which I did not want to do. And I went to the hospital. They made me wait for ages and ages, and I'm just like cry talking, you know. And I don't do that. I mean, I can take it, you know what I mean? And I was just saying to the triage, you know, nurse. I said, look, this is just unusual. I said, you know, I've had tattoos before, but this pain, like it feels like an infection to me, and it's happened like really quick. I mean, I only had the tattoo the day before, right? So what was happening was, is I was showing the triage nurse, you know, the front of my arm, you know, like this, you know, showing them where the tattoo was, because it was all weeping and bubbling and blistering, and it was and then I didn't think to show them behind here, because this is what I noticed. The first bit was this was out, like, you know, behind my arm was swollen out, like it was a big watery thing. But I'm just showing them here, like, look, 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 right? But if I had gone like that, she would have. But anyway, eventually someone finally gave me something. I went home with something and put something on my arm. Again, I reacted to it. I had an allergic reaction to this stupid thing. Back to the hospital, like, oh my God. One thing after another, drip here, drip there, huge, terrible mess. Okay, it looked like someone took a blowtorch to my arm. I can't even believe you can still see something there. I have all photos of it and everything that I kept, because I will never forget it. It was just walking a nightmare. Okay. And of course, they treat you like crap, because they're like, oh, well, you just did this to yourself, and, you know, ha ha ha, trying to have a tattoo and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, actually, all I was trying to do was cover up a crappy thing that was on my arm. And, you know, this happens, right? Not, you know, it just happens. Anyway, I spent a long time in hospital on IV drips and this, that, and the other. I had anaphylactic shock, and all kinds of things happened to me through that thing. And I was in a shamanic death like you wouldn't believe. Okay. And my husband was just like screaming, you know, oh my God, why won't they do anything? Like, what the hell's going on? And I was just getting weaker and weaker, and I just couldn't get myself out of it. I couldn't fix it, you know? It was the most vulnerable thing I've ever felt, because I couldn't stand up for myself, even if I had to. Like, if someone came in and started trying to steal all my stuff in the room, there's no way I could fight them off. Where, you know, normally I can look after myself. And I just was like, this is really, really difficult, right? And plus, being away, I'm halfway around the world. My husband's, you know, in Australia, and all this is taking place. My kids weren't even with me, because I was in Sydney, they were in Adelaide. I'm staying at a friend's house. I'm like at this hospital. Anyway, it turned out that it took me a really long time to heal, you know, the arm and everything like that. It took me a long time, you know, probably 8 weeks or something, 6 to 8 weeks. And I was back on a plane to come over to the United States. What ended up taking place, okay, and that was Royal Prince Albert Hospital. If you guys know where that is, Camberdown in Sydney, New South Wales, okay, that hospital. About 2 weeks ago, the reason I'm telling you this is because about 2 weeks ago, I was going through all of my family history and stuff, because I am related to Peter Garrett, who's the lead singer for Midnight Oil. If you're an Australian, you know that, right? Peter Garrett. And I was trying to figure out how he was related to us. And I found out that he's actually my third cousin. I always thought he was my second cousin. Turns out he's my third cousin. Anyway, and as I was going back through the family history, you will not believe this. In 1913, okay, my great grandmother, my great grandmother died in Royal Prince Albert Hospital in Camperdown in Sydney. She never got out of that hospital. And all that dawned to me was like, that's why I couldn't get well. I just couldn't get well in there. The only time I got well was when I got out, you know, and I started getting better. I was probably pushing myself a little bit too hard when I came out and stuff, but You do that because when you're sick of it, sick of being down. Um, but I'm like, oh my God, you know, things that happen to us, places that we go, situations that we have in our life that mirror a life of people that were before us. Either she was, in the hospital, haunting the hospital, or whether it was a memory I had of I might not get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and feeling more frightened and therefore lowering my guard. I don't know. There was something about choosing that hospital in the first place, and you can go have a look at it. It's all very old in the front of the building and stuff, and it just seemed familiar to me. I knew I hadn't been there before, but I knew where I was going through all of I just knew where I was going. I'm like, oh my God, how did I know where the nurse's station was and stuff? And it was in the old part of the building as well. And it was really strange to think about it now that this is mirroring. So some of you, the reason that I wanted to say that also, not just because I thought about it, but the reason that some things are happening to some of you is because of a past life connection, okay? And a fear or some kind of terror or something that occurred when someone passed away or something that you're afraid of having happen to yourself all of a sudden, or losing your will to be here or giving up on life. And remember, if you all of a sudden want to give up on life, then you have some kind of negative attachment on you. It's just how it is, right? Nobody really wants to just give up on life. So if that suddenly happens to you, please, talk to somebody, okay? But there's ways in which that you can start pulling out all of this trauma from your physical body as well, from your mental bodies, from your emotional bodies, from your astral bodies, all of it, And again, this is part of the training and things that you will be getting. I go through with my work, etc., it's different than others, and that's how I always wanted it to be. In fact, I didn't want to give away any of my secrets. I'm like, I don't know whether I want to teach everybody all of the stuff that I have, but it's bigger than this now, It's bigger. I know that when I've gone to someone before, when I was younger in the past, I know what I got. I know what sort of message I got or what healing or whatever it was. And it's nothing like the way that I'm going to teach you how to do it. Okay. And it's different. You're reaching someone as a soul, and you've got to understand every level of who they are. And it's extremely important that this come out now, because as I said to you before, we're sick of the same ways of doing things. And if we're going into a new energy altogether, completely, going back to basics, then we've got to do it in a different way, a more advanced way, in a way that actually gets the results that you're looking for. So I really hope to see some of you at least, trying semester one. And with the semester one, I'll give you the tools that you need to just, okay, I'm ready. You'll be able to go off and do it. And if you want to specialize in something, you can. Like past life regression therapy, shamanic healing, my Egyptian healing as well, regular healing, learning about energy, creating your own energy healing, learning about oracles, tarot, how to do it, everything and anything, channeling, mediumship, all of it, and how to incorporate it into your life, into your business, into your work, into your everyday, because this will be something that you have to live by. You can't be a weekend warrior anymore because it's a 24/7 job. Not for everyone, okay? I had no idea when I stepped into this role exactly what it would all entail because of the way that I'm doing it, and never wanted to change how that is, because then I just end up falling into a pattern of everybody else is doing it this way, so I'm going to do it this way. No, that's not me. Everyone else is doing it this way, so I'm going to do it this way. Right? And hopefully that's exactly how you feel as well. So what I'm going to do is, actually, we had this Finding Sanctuary card come out, and I did have these other cards in my hands. we have the card of Fogged In, which says slow down, just chill down, take your time. Rainbow blessings, which are blessings are showering your life. Whenever you see a rainbow in a card, for example, okay, I want you to remember that a miracle is coming. That's how it always seems to me. And wise leader, okay, so it says you are a beacon for others. Look at that. How awesome. Okay. All right. And so with that, I also want to read to you about the angel on Canon. See these videos, right? I tell my husband, I've got to go talk. I've just got to go talk. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And then I just sit here and here it is. And that's just how I'm doing it. Okay. All right. So on Canon, communication. And this is from the, this is from Kay Maroney. But the first little passage is from the Bible, from Luke 2:10. And it says, and the angel said to them, be not afraid, for behold, I bring you good news of a great joy, which will come to all the people. Don't we need to hear that right now? That's just, that's just like the miracle thing that I was just saying, okay? Great joy is coming to all the people. Okay, so don't be afraid, okay? Oncanon is God's messenger, and this is why I want to do this. Oncanon is God's messenger who offers love and guidance as you progress on your pathway home. He often acts as an intermediary, bringing remembrance of your spiritual destiny, and his desire is to assist in your quest for the truth. Call on Oncanon often to part the veil of illusion and connect you with your eternal self. The angels communicate at the soul level without words. Their deep feelings are transmitted telepathically, allowing no room for misunderstanding. Humans have developed a verbal method of interchange that is custom made for deceit, misinterpretation, and conjecture. To further complicate matters, most of us have been taught that it's not safe to say how we really feel. What are you afraid to expose and why? Strive to reach a level of loving but brutal honesty in relationships. Going deeply into your feelings to reveal the truth invites an incredible outpouring of love and understanding. Oncanon can be a remarkable communication assistant if you just ask and then stay alert for insights into your own feelings and the lessons of relationships with others. When you have feelings for others, love, anger, resentment, or uneasiness, ask to understand the higher meaning for being with this person. If the relationship is troubled or karmic, seek healing and forgiveness. It's not necessary to like everyone, right? Uncomfortable feelings could be valuable warning that this person is not for you. Okay? Why don't we listen to that when we get that weird feeling of uncomfortable energy? And we don't listen because we're like, well, this person hasn't done anything wrong. Like, why am I being so judgy? It's not. It's your internal self is saying, no. And you're like, what's wrong with this? Okay. If the relationship is joyous, revel in the joy. Ask Oncanon to enhance communication with family members through love and peace. Seek ways to understand your differences while striving to appreciate your sameness. We all just want to be loved, right? Write letters to the guardian angel of anyone who troubles you and asks for the good of all concerned. That's a really, really good point. A valuable part of my life has been doing just that. I don't understand this person, angel. I don't understand why this has come up. you know, obviously I'm trying to find fault within myself as to why I was treated this way. And I still can't find a reason why I was treated this way. You know, I may have been grumpy once in a while, but I don't really think that you know, means I should have been treated this way. So I ask you to take care of the situation. I'm asking you, guardian angels, to shed light on that person and send them love and compassion, and just close that, you know, cord to me, because this is hurting me, you know, and I don't want to feel that way. So just dissolve that cord, you know, of misunderstanding, of mistrust, of past life stuff or karmic energy. And I give you permission, angel, to take care of that whole thing, because I don't want to do it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to focus on it. And I have to let it go. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there's been someone in your life that has been extreme, like you've just been trying to figure out, racking your brains, what have I done? You know, what's happened? Why are they ghosted me? Why is this happening? What's their motivation? You know, if you've done that before, don't waste time. Do the letter, clear it away from you. Be honest in the letter. Burn it if you have to. Bury it if you want to. Whatever you want to do, you know, and it will be taken care of, and it's away from you, right? Ask on Canon to enhance communication. As I said, what you are afraid to say reveals where you need to work. Okay, what you're afraid to say reveals where you need to work. Are you reluctant or unable to tell others how you feel when things come up? If someone's annoying the crap out of you, do you say something? Do you let it go or not worry about it? Oh, I don't want to get into it. I'll just leave it, right? Okay. Do you even know how you feel about this, or why it's bothering you, or why it's upsetting you, or why you let them get away with it? Are you fearful that they might reject you? Are you worried about their response? I think a lot of us are sometimes. You know, we're worried that if we say something, I was worried. I was worried if I say something, if I, you know, start saying I'm going to start teaching you guys in the academy, you guys told me, oh, that sounds awesome. I set it all up and here we are, right? I thought I was reluctant to do it because I was like, oh, I don't know how people are going to take it, or, you know, maybe they're going to think that I'm just going to abandon them, you know, or not be there or whatever. And it's just not the case, right? So saying it made me more relieved, and actually made me more determined to actually continue with this, because this is the next step for me. You know, I've tried to do it. I've tried to teach webinars. I've done it all as little things. It can't be little things anymore. This is too big, especially if, you know, the goal is, in my own career, in my own life, in my own journey, is to open up several locations. You know, I need people to run those places, you know, properly. And I can't do it just by not giving or teaching or doing like I want to do, right? So, do you freeze up so you can't speak? Do you explode in rage? Okay. Can you trust others to honor your feelings? You know, do you try to please at any personal cost? It's all got to go. Go. Can you trust others to honor your feelings? Okay. Perhaps you could say anything and they would hear with an open heart and respond in love, right? So maybe setting it up in a different way, like, I'm going to be able to say what I need to say in a loving and kind manner, and they're going to understand. Instead of going, oh my God, what am I going to say? How am I going to put this? Okay. But don't explain yourself on your exit, okay? I've read, someone made me laugh, like they said, this is not an airport. We don't need you to explain your departure or even announce it. I was roaring with laughter. You know, people try to tell you, okay, well, I'm going to go in this direction now. Bye. And you're like, go. Relationships that are expansive, ever striving for more heartfelt, true communications, are precious gifts of love. You know, if you're able to say whatever the hell you need to say to a friend, someone you care about, it's exactly how it should be, without fearing some kind of trouble that you're going to get yourself into. That comes from being a kid. You know, your partner, your friendships or whatever aren't your parents. If they make you feel that way, run 1,000 miles. The fear, anger, lack of trust, and hurt that relationships trigger mirror these inner feelings. Okay. Your willingness to explore your dark side, to deeply feel what you fear the most and release it in love, will open the way to better relationships with others. So seek truth in all of your communications, from things as simple as a birthday card to the complexity of a marriage. Know that what's true for you. Try to feel what's true for others and find the way to understand each other, because we have to right now. So this is the message from On Canon. We have to right now, because otherwise we're going to end up continuing a trend that we've seen on the planet and, you know, for all of our lives. And it's like everybody puts others in a group, in a hierarchy. People actually put angels in a hierarchy. They don't. Remember, I explained to you before, the way that they see us is through vibration, colors, and sound. That's how they see us. Okay. And that's how they connect with who we are, our energy, all of that sort of stuff. And we need to see others in vibration, color, and sound as well. You know, how does it sound when they talk to us? You don't like it? Okay, new direction. Because it's going to, there's no more hanging out. Well, maybe they didn't mean that. And maybe they really didn't say that. Or maybe it was supposed to be for somebody else that they said that. And maybe they were just taking out of me because they were having a bad day. That's rubbish. They meant exactly what they said to you. So it's what you're going to do about that. And also you have to mean what you say, you know? There's no point saying that you want to be there, that you want to help others, and then as soon as you get about 500 people at you, you're going to freak out. Because believe me, it will happen, okay? I offered free readings in the beginning. Holy crap, I opened up a can of worms. I started off and I had like 20 people, and I was like, okay, I can do 20 people. And then one day I opened up, it was like 400 emails. I'm like, how am I going to do it? How am I going to get, I want to help everybody. How am I going to do it? And I just one by one, I went through and I did all these free email readings. And that's how you know me. I started way back then. I advertised myself and I started to just do these free readings because I was like, well, you guys are going to have to know who I am and how I do it. And there's only one way, you know. And I figured if you liked it, you'd be back. And I was right, you know, a lot of people came back and it was like, okay, I can do this, you know. But I'm telling you, the first time I saw that, I was very, very overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, what have I done? I've created a monster here, you know. And sometimes I feel that way with a lot of the things, like I'll say something and then I'm like, why have I said that for? You know, now I'm going to have all of this happening. But it's all part of trying to help, you know. Once you help in one way, you go, oh, and then there's this and this and this and this. Oh, we can do. Oh, you can't afford it. Don't worry, you know. And that's been to my detriment as well. Everybody is like, I'm here for free messages and readings and stuff, and I give free stuff on different platforms. I give free advice in my emails. I help as many people as I can for free that have got cancer or have got something. But when you've had like 2 or 3, you know, sessions from me, that's taken my time, and then it keeps on going. That's no good for either of us, right? So that's something I've had to learn, is that I can't possibly be all to everybody all the time and remain strong and remain what I'm supposed to be doing, you know. And for having so many years of doing this work and experience and things like that, and hearing the amount of people that have gone elsewhere, or have connected with famous people, or whatever they do, and they pay the money, $2,000 or $3,000 a session, like it was nothing. Like I told you, I did a course once and it was $1,600 for 2 days. Now that's exactly what I'm charging for 10 weeks. $1,600 with tons of information. You're going to learn more than just one item in the one. It's not like you're doing a semester and we're studying, I don't know, spirituality, and that's it. You're doing 10 weeks of different things to get you ready to be able to open up your own business, or to increase your confidence, or maybe to work with people that have more problems, right? But with me always communicating, just reach out and connect with me. That's because I want to be able to help you, right? Obviously, I know I can, right? I know that I'd be the best person for you guys, right? Especially if you felt drawn to come forward. But in reality, if all the work that I ever do is free, then I can't be there for anybody else. If I feel like I'm charging too much, or people can't afford it, or I feel sorry for somebody, then I just give in all the time. And it's because I don't want to make you feel like you have nowhere to go. Now, please, people who are listening and I'm currently working with you, or we have in the past, or whatever, look, it is what it is. Okay, we're doing what we're doing, we're getting there. Okay, it's happening. But I had to come to a realization that in order for me to be able to get to the next levels, to get you guys to the next levels, to get the information that I need, then, I can't be the one that is always just, on hand for anyone and everybody, because it becomes, after all these years, my husband, he only deals with the auctions and he's like, whoa, this is a lot of energy, and it's not a bad way. I'm not saying that in a bad way or anything like that, but it's a lot of energy. There's a lot of stuff you got to deal with. There's a lot of stuff you got to do. And being in the public and all that sort of stuff. It's not as easy as it seems. I make it seem, But there came a point where I had to communicate to you, hey, I'm not going to be here. So I need to train people, okay? I need to train people to be there, because I've got to train the next lot and the next lot and the next lot. And when I started to feel that way, the relief was incredible, that, oh my God, so I'm not going to just be, pulled here and here and here. I'm going to go here where I really want to be, where I feel like I deserve to be by now, right? And everybody else, okay, there's going to be more to go around. There's going to be more help available and less demand on one person, if that makes sense. As I've told you all before, I know many people who are very wealthy spiritual advisors. And as I told you before, that's not me, because I always give in. I'm always like, don't worry about it. Let's just do this. Which my accountant told me one time. He's like, you've got to make some money, Rebecca. Like, how are you going to keep everything open? And I was just like, but I've got to help people, So that's a thing with me. It's not anybody else's fault. As I said to you, don't take it on now and be all funny about it. I'm just saying, for me, I had to come to a realization that I was worth something here, and maybe I'd been going around, feeling like this is what I owed humanity or something, but it was actually far bigger than that, reaching far more people than that, still giving you guys a really good deal on the whole thing, of course, but it's bigger. And then you're going to be bigger. And then you show others. And then you teach this method and you teach that method. So I'm not doing it all the time. You know what I'm saying? I know there's plenty of you out there that are mediums and psychics and readers and healers. And you're doing it even if you're working 9 to 5. You're doing it, but you're not at that next, where you really give up everything and go for it. I gave up everything, 12 years ago to do this full time, much to everyone's laughter, thinking I was absolutely going crazy, that I would never do it because I give too much away, that you can't live on that. And I've managed to make it, just get through. But, I've managed to make it. There's nothing fancy schmancy here, right? And even if it did end up being where the income was finally there or whatever happens, right? Still going to be the same person, still exactly who I was always, right? And you will be that way too, where your uniqueness, whoever you are, is going to set you out. And we all, whether you're doing this work or not, we all have to empower ourselves, not give in to the BS that we're seeing, not give in to people's drama, not give in to anybody's attacks on you or confrontations or neediness or drama, okay? Because you're important and you start understanding that. Now, I've just gone on around in a whole big circle to get you to that point, okay? Because I want you to understand that nobody's perfect. People are, I'm always working on things with myself as well. I'm always working on my reactions, why something irritates the crap out of me, why I let that happen. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect on your journey. I've said this 1,000 times. There is no perfect time to start. I've said that to people that, they are waiting and waiting and waiting before they have a child, or they're waiting and waiting and waiting before they get married. Why? You're just waiting for nothing, really. There's no perfect time to do any of it, right? It doesn't work that way. It's thrown at you. It's there. The door's open. The light's on. Are you going in or what? No? Okay, now you're going to have to wait another 5 years and drag your butt around, another 5 years older, and nothing happens. Are you going to live in fear the rest of your life? What if this works? What if it doesn't work? What if this happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? What will they say? Who cares? You know what? People will say anything anyway. It doesn't even matter how awesome you are, right? It doesn't. It doesn't matter where your heart lies. It doesn't matter. There will be people that just think what they want to think, and they want to stick a knife in, or they want to be nasty, they want to throw you off your game, or they want to pick out something that is totally irrelevant to what you're doing and make you think, why are they, make you change your view and look like, why are they asking about that or talking about that or whatever, when I was talking about this? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't matter, because there are devils everywhere. There are those, and I mean that by negative vibrations everywhere, that will try to drag you off of the course, whether they're dragging you through your emotion, whether they're dragging through their emotion, whether they're dragging you through your less than good enough attitude about yourself and making you feel that way until you talk yourself into giving up something. I nearly have done that 1,000 times with you all. I'm so sick of it that nobody's understanding this, that maybe I just might as well just give up. Now, I know that that doesn't come from me. That comes from a niggling, nagging, negative vibration that gets into your head and causes overthinking. And that was an old habit that I used to have, right? And when you're in a situation of stress, or when you're in a situation of, everything's happening around you and you're trying to maintain strength all the time, it kind of gets exhausting sometimes, right? And so over the years, I've had my moments. But one thing I want to tell you is, if I'm ever in a, I don't know, I can't remember when the last time was I was in a bad mood or anything, but if I was in a bad mood, let's say, or I was giving up on everything, or I was, going through something, there's no way I'm making videos anyway, right? I'm not going to make a video when I'm not feeling up to it. That's why I'm just so pushed to do things. I'm always pushed to do things. I ask for the grounding, I ask for the connection, and then away it goes. I'm just here. But if I didn't feel like being here, I won't be. Believe me, right? I don't make videos unless I'm here, in my full. I might not exactly know what I'm going to say to you, but I'm here, right? And I want you to know again that that's another example of not having to be perfect before you do something, right? Because you are going to grow, learn, and change as you're going forward. The biggest thing that you have to do, though, for yourself, for the journey, for life to change, for manifestations to occur, for the right situation to be put into your life, is to make sure that you're not getting pulled in every direction that you don't want to be in, and that you communicate what it is that you need. And if you can't communicate to someone else, that you write it down and communicate it in that way and allow the situation to end. And when it comes up and someone's there again, right? Someone's there again and again and again, and you've let it in, okay? You've got to pull yourself back and say, no, I'm worth more than this. This is getting to be ridiculous, okay? It's not helping me, and it's not helping them. And I'm, asking the angels to take care of it, which is the best way forward, right? And then you don't have to worry about anything. Well, the angels are going to take care of it. Well, it's going to be a far lot better solution than what you had in your brain, right? And the angels know that person and their situation and what their life path is and what color, sound, and vibration that they are and how to adjust stuff. When that person's ready to adjust their frequency, they will ask. And the angels already got it all planned and ready to go. Isn't that much better than you going, you're just an idiot, and getting into a fight with somebody that you don't need to, at all. So the communication here, the forward movement, we're going into these new energies, okay? Always remember that every 2 weeks you've got these moon cycles. Always remember there's planets doing things, okay? Always remember, okay, I'm feeling this way. Could it be solar flares? Could it be upgrades? Could it be ascension symptoms? Could it be that I am shaking something loose from my past? Don't go into, oh God, oh no, oh, this is happening. Oh, God damn it. There's something else. Here it is again, Don't go into that stuff, because that is not your true purpose and that is not your true spiritual self. It's okay. I'm feeling this. It must be a good thing. Okay. Always turn it around into a positive thing. And that's what it will be. Communication is key. Declarations are key. Okay. And you need to be careful of what comes out of here, because you don't want something that you don't want to manifest, because you're like, oh, I don't want this to happen. I don't want that. And what if that happens? That's what energy is around you. And that's what you will draw around you. It's the law of attraction. It's just what it is. Now, there's a lot of trauma, as I explained. There's a lot of past life stuff, as I explained. And we'll go through some of these themes, okay? Someone asked about the exit, what happens when we exit or transition, or what may happen in our blueprint. And if you guys want to have, this is a free webinar of some kind, at some point, let me know before I get started on the 31st of January. If you want to get started with me, doing the academy, learning with a group that are awesome, okay, then the link will be below, and you should be able to, if you need payments to be made, then you let me know as well. But I think there's a buy now, pay later kind of option. So if you can't see that, let me know, okay? But so we start on the 31st. We'll go for 10 to 12 weeks, and it's weekly lessons, probably more than one that you will be listening to yourself. And then every week we will have question and answer time with me personally on Zoom. Whoever's going to be a part of the group, you'll be able to view things, you'll be able to download stuff. I should have some PDFs and things as we go along. No one will be able to go along without everybody else. So that's what's going to be really awesome about this whole thing as well. It's more interactive training rather than here's the course, off you go, bye. nobody cares. Okay. So until we can do workshops, until we can do things in person, until things go back to normal, this is how I'm doing it. And then I would like to teach this in classroom settings wherever I am. Okay. Just trusting everything's just going to fall into place, right? That's what you have to do as well. Just trust the whole process. We are protected and supported. You know, we are divine beings of light, just doing our best here. And we're about to jump into a new level of understanding, knowledge, wisdom coming at us. We're about to jump into a revolution that we haven't seen, you know, since 1776. We're right in the middle of it. It's happening in February. Imagine stepping into George Washington's energy. Like, I'm Australian and I'm amazed. I love George Washington. I even have some of his not diaries, like as in, you know, looking at the diaries, but you can look up and find all of his diaries and information and stuff like that. Husband and I, you know, listen to it, and it's just incredible, the whole journey. And we're right in it. We chose to be here. Okay, we chose to be here at this time. We chose to be strong in the face of darkness. Even if we don't always feel strong, that's okay. You have to admit it though. Just like I was admitting those things to you guys, you know, it's only natural to, you know, even anybody who works at any job to get fed up every now and then. That's only natural. It's when you get really hard on yourself about it that it becomes a problem. When you hate yourself for it, it becomes a problem. When you do things begrudgingly, that becomes a problem, you know? And hopefully you guys are understanding more about yourself or want to. And I am still available for readings and things like that. You can still get. I have some new things at the website as well. And January 31st is the day, though, that the Academy opens. So you can enroll now if you want to. And I'm really, really looking forward to whatever comes from all of this. You know, this is our way forward. And you all becoming teachers of light as well and being anchored around the globe is amazing to me, that you can reach so many people now. Remember back in the day, you know, if you couldn't walk there, too bad. You couldn't go there, that's it. If you can't take your sandals and walk around and get to the next town, too bad, nobody knew about you or learnt from you. But now we've got all of this. We need to use it while we've got it, okay? And move forward into this new energy. And then I hope to meet you guys at some point, sometime, and you know, do stuff live as well, which would be awesome. Okay. So I've once again talked and talked, and I hope that you enjoyed the messages today. We will see you tomorrow night. If you want to have some fun, I probably won't be able to pump this arm, but I'm going to pump this arm double time for the auction and the wheel. Okay. So so you'll see us then. All right, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. But until the next time, many, many blessings. Lots of love. Bye for now.